And of course, right when I want to start recording, one of my neighbors is going to start mowing their lawn. Does it ever fail, man? Oh, whatever. I'm just going to drink my coffee and let's just get through this, all right? Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Freedom Reviews, the channel where we review, compare, and give any kind of tips within your content creating career. And today we're going to be comparing two microphones, the Shure MV7X, the one I have currently plugged in, and the Elgato Wave DX. Now, in terms of price, the differences on these guys right out of the gate is going to be the MV7X is $180 and the Elgato Wave DX is $99. These are both dynamic broadcasting mics. Now, most of you probably know the Elgato Wave from the Elgato streaming line and probably very familiar with their USB microphones, the Wave 1 and the Wave 3. Those are condenser microphones. This is going to be their dynamic XLR microphone. Now, Shure, as I'm sure, no pun intended, most of you are aware with their very legendary, the SM7B. Almost every broadcaster, podcaster, you name it, uses that microphone. This is kind of the baby brother of that microphone. So I figured, hey, let's take some pretty well-known companies, let's put them together, and let's see how these guys are going to sound. Now, right out of the gate here, let's just get some tech specs out of the way. I don't have any of them memorized, so apologize. I'm just going to look over here at my other screen. And the MV7, we're going to start with this guy. Again, they're both dynamic microphones. They both use a cardioid pattern. The frequency response of the MV is going to be 50 hertz to 16,000 hertz. The sensitivity is negative 55 decibels, and it has an output impedance of 252 versus your Wave DX, which has a frequency response of 50 to 15,000 hertz and a sensitivity of 2.5 and an impedance of 600 ohms. So let's actually now just get into the audio of these guys. So clearly you've been listening to the Shure MV7 this entire time. I do have a pretty small room. It is not sound treated. I do have neighbors and things doing some things around here, but I currently have no fans going at this particular time. Typically, I do like to keep my microphones at a 10 degree-ish or so angle, about 3 to 4 inches away from my mouth, and I think this is best practices. Kind of reduces the amount of plosives that you're going to get on your microphone. And the first thing I'm going to want to test here is just going to be the plosives of these guys. So I'm just going to give both these microphones a fair test. I do not have any EQ on these guys, so this is just the raw audio of what you're hearing. And I'll put that directly in front of my mouth, and we're going to start using some plosives. If you guys don't know what plosives are going to be P and the S sounds found in your voice. So when you say things like Peter Piper Peckerwood, and you finished the sentence with the seashells, is usually what you're going to get in terms of plosives. So you let me know, how did that sound? But now I'm going to test the rejection of this microphone, which is what dynamic microphones are very famous for. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk to the side of the microphone, the side of the microphone, the side of the microphone, and then we're going to keep back going into the top of the microphone, back around, whoa, back around into the side of the microphone, just like this. And now we are back to the top of the microphone. So you guys let me know how that sounds in the comments down below as well. And then we're going to talk about the proximity effect of both of these microphones as well. So the closer you get to a dynamic capsule, the kind of more rich they start to sound because of the way that that dynamic coil on the inside is moving with the pressure of your air. So now here we go, getting really close to the microphone, getting really close to the microphone. My lips are now touching the foam of the microphone. All right, and then we're going to pull this guy back. We're going to pull this guy back, and then I'm going to go about as far as I possibly can from the mic. I'm talking in normal range. I'm not screaming. I'm not doing anything like that. And this is how this guy is going to sound. If I did want to scream, it would sound like this. And all right, I'm going to move this microphone back into a normal position to which I have it at, and then I'm going to start kind of a vibration test, pounding on my desk, pounding on the boom arm, and then moving the microphone around just to kind of see how it handles those types of rejections. Let's go ahead and start on the desk. Okay, moving on to the boom arm. Slowly working my way up the boom arm. And then I'm not going to handle the microphone, anything like that, but I am going to just grab it by the stem. Kind of move it around. Going to move it around. I do have another camera back here, so there we go. And all right, guys, so that's how the Shure MV7 microphone sounded here. So you guys let me know in the comments down below how this thing did, how it performed. Did you like the sound of it? Let's switch on over to the Elgato. Kind of do that same test. All right, let's go. All right, guys, now we've moved on to the Elgato Wave DX. So this is how this guy's going to start to sound right out of the gate. Do you immediately notice a difference up between these two? So let's go ahead and do that same test. Move this guy right in front like this. There we go. So let's go ahead and just kind of start with our basic tests here, the plosives test here. So Peter Piper Peckerwood, and you finish your sentences down by the seashells. And we'll see how that guy did. All right, so let's go ahead and start that rejection that we normally do with these microphones. And we're gonna go on the side of the microphone, the side of the microphone, the side of the microphone, and we're gonna come back around. There's the tip of the microphone and down, and then down like that. Okay. And then we're going to be moving back to the front of the microphone like we normally do. Let's go ahead and work on that proximity effect. So now I'm going to get really close to the microphone, really close to the microphone. We're getting ever so closer to the microphone, ever so closer to the microphone. And now we are on top of the microphone. I can feel the metal construction of said microphone. And then we're going to pull back, pull back, pull back. I'm going to get as far away from the microphone as I can, just like before. And I'm, again, going to be talking normally on this guy. So then we do like this, and then we're going to scream a little bit. You can kind of see the rejection on that. All right. Coming on back. Let's put this guy back to how we would normally have a microphone. Aha! So I do have both these microphones on a boom arm, but I'm going to start banging on my desk a little bit, banging on the boom arm in itself, and kind of handling the mic and see what kind of rejections it can get from that. So let's go ahead and start on the desk. I'll move on to the boom arm. Okay, and then I'm not going to tap on the microphone because I don't know who would actually just tap on their microphone unless you're trying to do like something comedic like hello, anything like that. But I am going to grab it at least from the stem here and kind of move it around a little bit. That way you can kind of get a sense, right? If you're like me and you have different kind of cameras, you know, you can grab this thing around like this, move it around, and now I can talk to you from over here. How does this guy sound? So let's move back to our normal camera here. All right, now I'm going to read just a little quick short story here, and I'm going to stitch these microphones back to back so you can hear the differences between these two. So, Alice was everywhere until she wasn't. Just like at first, she was nowhere until she was. The absence of her before I knew she existed was nothing. Now, the absence of her shrouds everything, like a guest who never came to dinner, a stormy sky that didn't deliver. And alright guys, so now you've heard both these microphones, so you guys let me know in the comments down below which microphone did you actually think sounded the best. Now, I do have my own opinions on these guys, and listening back to them, I can tell you that the Wave DX sounds actually really good for a $99 dynamic microphone out of the box. Like I said, no EQing or anything like that. This thing sounds really good, and I think it actually handled rejection and plosives really well. A common problem I've actually found with the MV7 is its plosives. I've also heard that the quick fix for this guy is, well, obviously get a dedicated pop filter, but you can also just replace the sock here with the Shure SM7B's sock, and it tends to fix that problem a little bit more. However, I do find that the Elgato Wave DX is more suited for broadcasting streamers, kind of what it's built for. It's pretty accurate on what it was marketed towards. I would not be my first microphone I would pick to do like vocal recording or anything like that. In fact, the SM7B is not really a microphone that I would go to recording on that either, because they're both dynamic microphones. But if you guys like natural raw content like this, of you and me just kind of talking, geeking out over audio tech, then feel free to subscribe to the channel, because I plan to upload some videos here on the differences between a microphone like this, a condenser microphone, and the microphones that we've been using today, which is the dynamic microphones. And you'd understand why I would pick this for recording over this dynamic microphone right here. And all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Like I said before, comment down below, which microphone did you actually think sounded the best? Do you own any one of these microphones? Is there a microphone that you would want me to try out in the future and compare these microphones to? Within reason, of course. Don't forget to like the video if you like this content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.